What up, ladies and gents? This is DavidLeeT back with a new pickups and packages video. We got a lot of goodies here. We got some anime, we got lots of video games, found a lot of Godzilla flicks, some cool figures and handhelds, some horror films, you know, the usual. But I got a package into, oh, it wasn't today, it was like last week. I just hadn't had time to make a video due to the holidays. But I got a package in from Cyrus649. His link will be down below. We did a trade a while back. I'm sure some of you done seen the video he done of my package. And what we traded for was this really cool Sega Saturn control. I desperately needed one of these. These things are like thunderously rare in my neck of the woods. You can't find any Saturn merch anywhere, dude. I mean, literally anywhere. So thanks a lot, Cyrus. I really appreciate you trading me the control. It's minty fresh, as you guys can see, and really cool. Next, he threw in a couple animes. He threw in Grappler Baki, the Ultimate Fighter, licensed by US Manga. I love this OVA. This was one of the first OVAs I watched when I was a kid. Really big fan of it. I like this a lot more than the actual series. But really cool. Really glad to get that. And he also threw in Debutante Detective Corps, the OVA, licensed by ADV. Really cool. I haven't watched this yet, but I heard some good things. I heard it was like Hot Chicks mixed with Power Rangers. I don't know, but pretty cool. That'll go good with the anime collection. Thanks a lot, Cyrus. I really appreciate the trade, my friend. Always a pleasure. You guys please go check out Cyrus649. His link's down there. He does a little bit of everything. He does video game videos, pickups, collections. He does anime videos. He done a collection video for me. This guy has a beast of an anime collection. I mean, literally. You guys got to go see that if you're a fan of anime. And please show him some love. Tell him DavidLeeT sent you by. Now on to the pickups here. The first thing I got here is this really cool 1999 Dragon Ball Z handheld. I really love how the button's the single star ball. But I got this for $1 at my local flea market. Works like a charm. I was going to throw some batteries in the bad boy and show you guys, but I can't figure out how to cut it off without taking out the batteries. So, yeah, you guys just have to take my word for it, I guess. Pretty cool, though. Got some nice artwork. Got Frieza and Goku on the front there. Really glad to get that. That'll go good with the X-Men handheld I found a couple weeks ago. Next I found this Ultimate Warrior for 50 cents. Oh yeah. Ultimate Warrior is my favorite wrestler of all time. He's just a badass. Hulk Hogan! Oh yeah. Really cool. Glad to get that though. It's crazy. Look at that. Crazy as hell. It's like furious masturbation. Ah! Yeah, that was 50 cents. And I found this really cool 1980s Michelangelo stick to the wall Maki. That's just badass, dude. That was 50 cents. The only flaw with it is it didn't have its original bandana, but that 25th anniversary Ninja Turtles DVD thing I got it came with like everybody's bandanas, so I just threw the Maki one on it. I think it looks pretty good, man. It's kind of like the new school bandanas with the old school turtle. Pretty pimp, dude. Really glad to get that. Love these old school turtle plushies. Now on to the video games here. We got a lot of good games to look at. First, I got Mega Man 3 for the NES, Capcom title. Glad to have that. Next, we got Mega Man 4 for the NES, also a Capcom title. Can never go wrong with the Mega Man series. Really good series. Next we got Paperboy 2. Really cool. Next we got another Capcom title, Willow. Really big fan of the movie. One of my favorite Val Kilmer movies of all time. If you guys haven't seen the movie, I recommend you check it out. The guy that plays the Leprechaun plays the main character in this. He's also in Harry Potter, I believe. Not a big fan of Harry Potter, but it's pretty cool, I guess. Next we got A Boy and His Blob. Stoked to get that. Really glad to have it. It's an absolute entertainment title. Really, really cool. Heard a lot of good things about this. Next we got Taito's Bubble Bobble for the NES. This is up for trade if anybody's interested. I heard it fetches a pretty decent penny on the Bay and on Amazon. So if anybody's interested, I'll trade this. Just shoot me some good offers. Drop me a line, whatever you want to do. And next, we got Metroid for the NES. This is also an extra, and it's up for trade. Some Samus Aran, if anybody's interested. And I got all 7 of these games from my dad for $5, which is really cool. I love it that my dad's collecting old games now. And he just sells them to like my nephews and me and my brother. And I always try to beat them over there and get all the good games. Bastards are quick, man. You got to be on your toes. But yeah, Metroid and Bubble Bobble's up for trade if anybody's down. Next we got Croc Legend of the Gobos Black Label for the PS1. Found this for $2 at my local flea market. He had a greatest hits version too, but I was like, nah, I gotta get that Black Label. You guys know what I'm talking about. But also heard this one goes for a decent penny on eBay. It's kind of like Crash Bandicoot in a way. I'm sure the wife will like this a lot. She's a massive fan of Crash Bandicoot, the old ones on the regular PlayStation. So I have to have her give that one a gander, if you know what I mean. Next, very excited to get this. Point Blank Part 1. Namco title for the PlayStation 1. This completes my Point Blank series. Now I have 1 through 3. And if there's any more than 3, somebody please tell me, because it's the only ones I know of. Big fan of this light gun series. Probably the best light gun series on the regular PlayStation next to Time Crisis. Highly recommend these. You guys please check them out. Next we found Destruction Derby, the long box for the PS1. This was $4. I found it at another flea market next to my town. And big fan of these long box games. Really, really like them. Glad to get it. Looks fresh. And the inside, it didn't come with a manual, but got the game in there. Now I have 5 long box PS1 games. Pretty sweet. Now this completes my original Time Crisis series. We got Time Crisis, Crisis Zone. And man, this game kicks too much ass. I mean, this game is awesome, dude. Hands down the best Time Crisis game I've played. It's a lot harder than the other Time Crisis games, but the graphics in this and just how smooth the frame rate is looks fan-fucking-tastic, people. You guys please go check out some gameplay or something. And what's cool about this is you have a machine gun through the entire game. Just awesome, dude. Oh, you get that other light gun over there, babe? The one I picked up? Sorry about that. I forgot to include one other thing. But you guys definitely check out Project Titan. Really, really fun. Next, we got War of the Monsters for PS2. This is, hands down, probably the best Monsters game of all time, man. I mean, the Godzilla games kick ass, but this one, it's such a fast-paced, balls-to-the-wall action game. I mean, it's really, really fun. And there's like rip-offs of King Kong and Godzilla in there. And kind of like a rip-off of Voltron in there, as you can see on the front there. And really, really, really fun, man. If any of you guys haven't heard of this game on the PS2, you can only get it on PS2. But the guys that made Twisted Metal Black made this. And I highly recommend, if you guys want a good 2-player game to play with your friends, to check this out. Really, really fun, you guys. Next, we got Rayman Arena for the GameCube. Really, really cool. It is a Ubisoft title. And you can never go wrong with Rayman. And it comes complete, as you can see. And really cool. That was $2, and War of the Monsters was $4. Next we got Star Fox Adventures for the GameCube. This was $2. Comes complete. Everybody knows a Star Fox. Not much to say. Next we got Battlestar Galactica for the PS2. This was an extremely popular show in the early 2000s and the 80s, back when the original aired. And it's a Universal title, Universal Interactive. I'm excited to check it out. I hope it's a shooter game. If anybody knows anything about it, please drop me a line or two about it. I'd like to know. It just looks really cool. Excited to play it. That was $2. Next we got Spawn Armageddon for the GameCube, a Namco title. It's really weird. Namco does a Spawn game. But you can never go wrong with Spawn, one of the greatest comic book characters of all time. Basically hailed image on his own back in the mid-90s. And you can never go wrong with Spawn. Really cool. That was $4, I believe. Next we got Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2, a Interplay Black Isle Studios title for the PS2. Really cool. Glad to get that. Now I have part 1 and 2 of Dark Alliance. And really cool. That was $2. Next we got Xenosaga Episode 1 for the PS2, a Namco title. Heard a lot of good things about Xenosaga from a lot of people here on the tube. Look forward to checking it out. It was $2. Next we got Final Fantasy X, a Squaresoft title for the PS2. Really popular franchise, Final Fantasy. I hear you can never go wrong with any of their games. And I thought I already had part 10, so I bought it to trade here on the tube. But it turns out I only had part 12 on the PS2, so that'll go good in the collection. Glad to get it. It was also $2. Got really nice artwork on the back there too. Really cool. Next we got Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, a Platinum Hits for the Xbox, a LucasArts BioWare Corps title. And it says here on the front, winner of... won over 40 Game of the Year awards. So Jesus, won 40 Game of the Year awards? This thing must be like just draped in epicness. I don't know. Definitely got to check that out. Looks pretty cool, man. Got that for $2 as well. Next we have Constantine for the original Xbox, a Vertigo THQ title. Really cool DC character. Love the whole slaying demons aspect of the movie. I really enjoyed the movie. Some people didn't. And hopefully the game is as good as it. This was also $2. Really cool. Next we got Freedom Fighters, a EA Games title for the Xbox, and it is brought to you by the makers of Hitman 2. I remember this was advertised a lot back in the day. Looked pretty sweet. Looked kind of like Mercenaries. And look forward to giving that a try. $2 as well. Next we got dun 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 Rocky. Oh yeah, Rocky Balboa for the PlayStation 2, a Rage Ubisoft title. One of the funnest boxing games of all time, in my opinion. I really enjoy this game. I got it for Christmas, like back in 2002 when it was first released. I was really glad to see it again. Got this for $2, and I just love beating down Ivan Drago. I mean, it's just fun as hell. Rocky 4 is my favorite of all of them. You know, the I will crush you. But yeah, really cool. Glad to get that. Rocky's the man, dude. Next we got Dragon Ball motherfucking Z Budokai. Hells yeah. Love this game. My favorite Dragon Ball Z game of all time. Just love it. And it doesn't have all that bullshit mechanics that the new Budokais do, where like you're in midair and you gotta press triangle, then square, then X, then circle. I don't know, I didn't like that. I like this version the most, man. It's simple, it's got good graphics, great gameplay. It's just epic in my opinion. Highly recommend you check that out. That was also $2. And next we got the king of all monsters, Godzilla Save the Earth, for the PlayStation 2, an Atari title. And the really cool thing about this game is it includes like almost every Godzilla monster of all time. You got Space Godzilla, you got King Ghidorah, you got Mecha Godzilla 1, 2, and 3. You got Megalon, you got Rodan, you got Mothra, you got the 90s Zilla, the 2000s Zilla. Just badass, man. This is like the melee mode on this, dude. Just really fun, man. It's just like War of the Monsters, and just really fun. Not as fast paced as War of the Monsters, but still a really good game nonetheless. And I highly recommend you guys check this out if you're a fan of Godzilla in general, or just a fan of giant movie monsters. You know, you'll really enjoy this one. Speaking of Godzilla, I went to McKay's. It's like 2 towns over from where I live. It's basically this monstrous media store. They sell everything second hand for a decent price, you know. And I went to their sci-fi section and bought every Godzilla movie they had that I needed. Because you guys know from the last pickup video, I got a lot of Godzilla flicks. So I got to thinking about it. I watched a few and I was like, dude, I would actually like to have all 28 Godzilla films. Well, overall I got 19 of them now. So I'm very glad to get all these. And the VHSs were $2.95 each, and the DVDs were $3.95 each or $4.95 each. I cannot remember. But we'll go ahead and go through these. We got Godzilla vs. Gigan. Really cool. One of my favorite Godzilla monsters of all time. Glad to get that. Gigan's like a Terminator chicken or something. I mean, look at him. He just looks badass. Really, really cool. Glad to get that. We got Godzilla vs. Ghidorah, the 3-headed monster. I guess that's before they started calling him King Ghidorah. I don't know. Really cool. Glad to get that as well. Next we got Godzilla vs. Monster Zero, which is basically King Ghidorah. Glad to get that. That's a classic. Really awesome. And this one, man, this one just kicked ass. Godzilla vs. Destroyer. Or Destroyer! However you say it. I guess they couldn't like license the title Destroyer. But this one's freaking awesome, dude. I really, really, really enjoyed this one. This is the last one of the Heisei series, or however you say it, from the 90s. And Godzilla's like on fire through the whole thing. I don't know, you guys just gotta see it, but this one was awesome, dude. Really, really enjoyed this one. Next we got Godzilla's Revenge, All Monsters Attack. Pretty cool. It's not as good as Godzilla vs. Destroyer, but as you can see, it contains a lot of monsters. But the bad thing about this is a lot of it is stock footage, which kind of blows, you know. But yeah, glad to get that. And then these are the really good ones. These are the Millennium series ones. I really enjoy these. We got Godzilla against Mecha Godzilla, the Battle of the Century. And that box art is just awesome, man. The best Godzilla box art I've ever seen. That looks really, really cool. And this is a really good film. I'd give this one an 8 from a 1 to 10. I mean, very enjoyable. Very, very, very enjoyable. Highly recommend y'all check that one out. And next we got the longest title I have ever seen on a movie. Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All-Out Attack. And to big Godzilla fans, they just call it GMK, I guess. I don't know. I've been watching some Godzilla videos on the tube. But this one's really good too. It's just as good, if not better, as the other one I showed previously. And fantastic. Really love it that Godzilla doesn't have any pupils in this. And he's like all wide-eyed. He just looks more menacing, and you guys know what I mean. He just looks more badass. But really glad to get that one. And the last Godzilla movie I got is the last Godzilla movie, Godzilla Final Wars, starring Don the Predator Fry, which is badass. I know a lot of people don't like that because it feels Americanized, but Don Fry kicks so much ass, I don't care. I mean, it was awesome. I really, really enjoyed this one. If you guys haven't seen this one, check that shit out. Badass. So that's all my Godzilla films. And I forgot to include this with the games earlier. I found another GunCon 2 for the PS2. Really fresh and clean. Works like a charm. And I got this for $3 at the same flea market I found them other games. I tested it out. Works perfect. Glad to get it too. Now on to the last little bit here. We got this limited edition 3-disc gift set Villain Showdown of Marvel. It contains 3 DVDs. It contains Spider-Man vs. Doc Ock, Fantastic Four vs. Doctor Doom, and Spider-Man vs. the Vulture. Really cool. Glad to get that. That was $6. It was sealed, but I had to open it up, man. I was like, hell yeah. Glad to get that. Next, we got a couple Dragon Ball Z items here. We got Bardock, the father of Goku, uncut. Got that for 50 cents. Glad to have that. And we got Dragon Ball Z Season 4. So now I have Seasons 1 through 4. And I just won Season 5 for like $8.99 plus 3 shipping or something like that on eBay. So Season 5 will be in my next pickups video. Glad to get that. Next we got the original Night of the Living Dead, total classic, can't go wrong with it. That was $1. Next we got the original The Wizard of Oz, epic classic, also $1. Next we got Bad Moon, hands down the greatest werewolf movie I've ever seen of all time. I know everybody's gonna be like, nah, American Werewolf in London, you know, but I've seen them both, dude, and Bad Moon takes the cake for me. Now, the flaw with American Werewolf in London, they don't show the werewolf enough. And this one, dude, the werewolf looks fan-fucking-tastic. Greatest I've ever seen. Just check it out, man. That's what it looks like. Badass, dude. Highly recommend you guys check this out. I really, really enjoyed it. There's a couple flaws here and there, and you know, but you know, it's that way with every movie. But really, really good. Highly recommend it. Next, we got The Gate 2. This is the sequel to the 80s movie starring Stephen Dorff. And this shit is crazy, dude. I mean, it's just crazy. That's all I can say. Crazy. Next, we got King of the Hill, the complete second season. Oh yeah, this was 8 bones. I thought that was a really good deal. Love King of the Hill, classic. Next we got Family Guy and Futurama movies. We got Futurama's movie, Bender's Game. We got Family Guy's movie, Something 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 Dark Side. And we got Family Guy Blue Harvest. These was all $3 each. And very, very glad to get them. Pretty cool. Next we got 3 more horror films. Sorry, I'm trying to speed it along. I know it's long, you guys. Next we got The Fly 2, the 1980s remake of The Blob, and Zombieland. Zombieland, everybody knows, everybody loves it. The Fly 2, not as good as the first one, but a really good sequel. Highly recommend it. And The Blob remake, awesome. Really, really awesome. Great effects. Loved it. Highly recommend it. Lastly, or not lastly, almost lastly, we got UFC 63, Hughes versus Penn for $3. Glad to get that. That's a good matchup. And lastly, we got Samurai X, the motion picture. Basically, Roni Kenshin. This was $2. Glad to get it. Big fan of Roni Kenshin. I heard the movie sucked, but the show kicks ass. But yeah, glad to get it nonetheless. Anyways, that's my pickups, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for the trade, Cyrus. I really appreciate it, bro. You guys please go check him out. His link will be below. And thanks everybody for watching. As always, be easy, baby.